fashionable and speedy. This is one of the worst cases of Chinglish I have ever seen. All throughout, everywhere. It reeks of Chinglish. It really does. China sent this, not exactly. See, I kind of always wanted one of these things, but of course I wasn't going to buy one. And it's totally unnecessary, and nobody needs it. I had an offer from China. They said, oh, we need you to buy this on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, that already reeks right there. And I don't do TikTok. But they had a link, and when you click that, it says, oh, download the app, download the app. And you can't do anything unless you get the app. So I got the damn app. And I bought this damn thing, and I'm still waiting for them to pay me. But I'll get my money back whether I have to return it or they pay me or what have you. I'll get it one way or another. I'm not worried about that. This was not a good deal through TikTok either, because you can find one that does exactly the same thing on that Jungle website for a lot cheaper, and if you have Jungle Prime, then it will, you know, there's no shipping on it, and it's really dirt cheap. So I did the review of this thing. It takes 7 eggs at a time. That's not only an odd number, but an odd number. Make it 6 or make it 12. 7 is just weird. Is that so in case one fucks up? One did when I did mine. I don't know why, but it's 7, and that does make it small. And I understand that if it were 12, it's going to have to be larger so they could physically fit. In testing this, they want you to take this measuring cup and use the thornel. That is a thornel. We'll get to that. To pop a hole in the top of the egg before you put it in. When I did the video on this, I needed hard-boiled eggs anyway. So I punctured the eggs with this, and I was doing a dozen, so I had to run it twice. In the second batch, the whiff was there with me, and she said, you know what, these are coming out fucked up. What happens if you don't puncture it? It came out perfect. That was a little odd. Maybe it was just a one-off. We only did one that we didn't puncture with it. But still, it's a bit unnerving putting this on, because now this acts as like a megaphone. So the little snap when it cracks that is very loud and jarring. And I did break one egg trying to do that as well. So that wasn't fun either. There are other better ones that make the thornel out of metal, and that will work a lot nicer than this little plastic nubbin that barely does work. The cooker itself worked exactly as described if you don't follow the instructions. This is graduated. It's hard to see it, okay, but you see all the lines there. And the book explains how much water, so I wanted hard-boiled, and that's going to be the longest cook time, obviously, so I filled it all the way up. I put it in, and I turned it on, and it sat there, and it happily heated the water for 30 seconds, and then it clicked off. Didn't work. Then I tried it again, or I waited, and it came back on, and then it went off again. So the auto shut-off of this, or the quote-unquote boil-dry protection, is simply a thermostat inside that sees when it has reached too high of a temperature. As long as there is enough water in here, it doesn't reach that temperature because of the mass of the water that has to keep heating in order for it to boil. And then as it escapes via steam, eventually it'll shut off. So I added a lot more water, and then it actually worked. So the instructions were completely wrong. The results out of it were perfect. Yes, it did work, and all was good, but it's really flimsy. And it's little, and it's cute, and things, and you see there's dirt there already, because as the water boils dry, it leaves marks on that. It's just a function of how cheap it is. They say you could also use this for meat and vegetables to just cook in this thing. Now this is maybe 3/8 of an inch deep, not quite a half inch. Not quite a half inch. And that's not much that you're going to fit in there. Plus, what happens to this? Right. So you're doing eggs in this, and that's it. This is, like I said, a fairly useless device, because you can put the eggs in a pot, which you already have, with water, which you already have, and boil them just the same, and get similar results, provided you know how to actually do it properly. If you don't, well, oh well, sorry. The unit itself is extraordinarily cheap. The cord is really thin. It got just barely warm in operation, nothing to even remotely be alarmed about at all, and that was after 2 cycles of it, so not really a big deal. Another fun fact is it just says electric egg cooker, but it says 50 hertz, not 60. And that's because in China, they don't know what 60 hertz is, they use 50. That's okay, and it works just fine at 60 hertz. But we're here for the Chinglish. We're going to get to the book a little bit later. I'm going to scan this in and voice over it, so this way you can see it a lot better than my holding it and shaking or putting it here and the camera on it. But we're just going to start with the box. Fashionable and speedy. And the first choice by businessman. I definitely see a highfalutin Chinese businessman say, "Oh, Ruka, egg cooker, make a hard-boiled egg for breakfast." Nope. No. Not happening. Delicate appearance, simple and liberality. That's important. Save and reliable. Outage when it's dry. Save and reliable. Outage when it's dry. Supercapacity, no space, fit for many kinds of foods. Okay, reasonable. Health and environmental, protectional, edible, PP material. I think PP is not PP, but polypropylene plastic. So we'll give them the PP. The product is certificated by 3C. Egg poacher, a good helper for nutrition. Nowhere on this box does it have a brand. Nowhere on the listing for it does it have a brand. Nowhere on the book does it have a brand. So I just went with ZDQ, because this is available in white, pink, or under the sticker it says yellow or blue, and this is ZDQ blue. So I just called it ZDQ because I don't know what else to call it. 10 times once. Okay? 7 eggs once. That makes sense. 10 times once, then it's broken? I'm not sure. Power 110 to 220 volts, 50 hertz. Rated power 350 watts. Yeah, it's kind of power hungry, but that's okay. Inspiration is not fantasy. Fan is extra space in the DIY. Nutritional, comma, no space. Healthy and easy. Egg. Sort of, and it doesn't even look like it. There's the pink one. Let's see. Egg custard bowl. Health and environmental protection, easy for laying food. Egg steamed frame. Used to steam eggs and any other things. Okay. Base. Super water capacity fit. Super water capacity fit for most of daily food. Okay. Measuring cup to control water yield. And my eyes have totally lost it at this point, so I can't read it anymore. And control steaming time. At the bottom, it says, add water according to the measuring pot. You can steam different extant eggs. It will be delicious, comma, no space, nutritional, comma, no space, elasticity as well, period, no space. It's easy to peel the shell, period, no space, and the eggs won't crack on the account of the design of cutout hole. Upper right, it says that inspiration is not fantasy, fan is in the DIY business. Steam egg. To steam eggs, as many as 7 once, can be shared by a whole family. Egg custard. That's not a thing in the US, but in other parts of the world, okay. To steam eggs, cooked food, etc. Also to alexiformic nipples, etc. I don't know about you, but I like when it's in private to alexiformic my nipples. I don't know what that means. Fried egg, to fry eggs, beef steak, and other foods. And they do show in the picture that you can cook right in it. Once, probably. And looks like the same thing on that side. I showed you the ZDQ, and the same inspiration is not fantasy over there. And the yellow one has a chicken top, or a hen top, if you must be proper. Yeah. Does it reek yet? Let's go take a look at the book. Egg, space, 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 boiler. Operating instruction. Thank you for purchasing our egg. Before use, please read these instructions, say fine and keep for reference. Executive Standard GB 4706.1-2005, GB 4706.19-2008. General Safety Instructions. Read the instruction manual carefully before putting the appliance into operation, and keep the instructions, including the warranty, the receipt, and, if possible, the book with the internal packing. The appliance is designed exclusively for private use and for the envisaged purpose. This appliance is not fit for commercial use. Do not use it outdoors. Keep it away from sources of heat, direct sunlight, humidity. Never dip it in any liquid, and sharp edges. Do not use the appliance with wet hands. If the appliance is humid or wet, unplug it immediately. Do not put it in weight. When cleaning or putting it away, switch off the appliance and always pull out the plug. Form the socket pole on the plug, not the cable if the appliance is not being used, and remove the attached accessories. Do not operate the machine without supervision. If you should leave the workplace, always switch the machine off or remove the socket pole, the plug itself, not the lead. To protect children from the dangers posed by electrical appliances, make sure the cable is hanging low that children do not have access to the appliance. This appliance is not intended for use by persons including children with reduced physical, sensory, or mental capabilities or lack of experience and knowledge, unless they have been given supervision or instruction concerning use of the appliance by a person responsible for their safety. Children should be supervised to ensure that they do not play with the appliance. Check the appliance and the cable for damage on a regular basis. Do not use the appliance if it is damaged. Do not try to repair the appliance on your own. Always contact an authorized technician. To avoid the exposure to danger, always have a or buy a qualified person with a cable of the same type. Use only original parts. Pay careful attention to the following special safety instructions. Special safety instructions for this machine. Use only cold weight when filing. When filling the boiler with weight, please adhere to the marks on the measuring beaker. Handle with care the egg tray, the upper side equipped with a sharp thornel. Warning: hot steam is released from the lid. Danger of burning. Do not allow decalcification agents to come into contact with the hot plate. Danger of injury. Operation: place the machine on a flat surface. Fill the cooking bowl with the amount of water signaled on the measuring beaker for the number of eggs to be boiled. The marking on the beaker have the following meaning. This symbol stands for soft-boiled eggs, not shown. The individual lines above this symbol indicate the number of eggs. The symbol stands for hard-boiled eggs, not shown. The individual lines above this symbol indicate the number of eggs. Insert the egg tray. Pierce the eggs on the bottom to avoid that they cark. Use the picker on the upper side of the egg tray. Press the egg delicately against the piercing needle until the egg is pierced. Distribute the eggs evenly and on opposite the other in the egg tray. Cover it with the lid. Insert the plug in a duly installed 100 to 240 volt 50 Hz socket. The control lamp now illuminator. The eggs are ready when the buzzer sounds. There is no buzzer. Remove the means lead. Please hold the lid by the handle and put it to one side. Caution: hot. Remove the egg tray from the cooking bowl and dip the eggs in cold water. Cleaning: always remove the plug from the main supply before cleaning the machine. The exterior of the machine should be cleaned, if necessary, with a slightly damp cloth without additives. Wash the lid and the egg tray in a normal sink.
as opposed to an abnormal sink. Decalcification. The decalcification intervals depend on the hardness of the water and the frequency of use. If the machine switches off before the water boils, it probably needs to be decalcified. Do not use vinegar, but a normal citrus acid-based desalcifier. Follow the manufacturer R,S instructions. This device has been tested according to all relevant current CE guidelines, such as electromagnetic compatibility and low voltage directives, and has been constructed in accordance with the later safety regulations, subject to technical changes without prior notice. Circuit schematic. Product warranty regulations. The warranty card user link please retain in order to guarantee certificate. This product from the date of purchase enjoy a year free warranty service. Maintenance period. Due to product manufacturing, in case of damage or bad can not be normal use. The user can with the card and invoice by the nearest repair station or the company customer service repair service center. According to international regulations, the following does not belong to the scope of warranty. We will charge a fee. Standard fees equal repairs and replacement parts costs. The consumers themselves properly or not according to the product manual operation. Product failure after. The consumer to product repair or replacement parts. Product warranty card. Customer name. Customer address. Telephone. Product name. By store. By store, the date of purchase. Document number. By store, the date of purchase.
So again, I don't know what's going to happen with this thing just yet. Whether I'll get to keep it or if I have to send it back or they're going to pay me or something, but I have to get my money for it because I did the work that was requested. So one way or another, either they lose out or they lose out another way, or they pay me as they're supposed to, and theoretically it's win for me and win for them. Allegedly. No brand, the worst case of Chinglish I've ever seen, barely works unless you don't follow the instructions. Yeah, definitely a real winner. I'm willing to bet that I could have gone on to the Jungle website, clicked on one blindly, and been happier with it. That's the honest review. If you can figure out how to make it work for yourself, it'll work. It's fine. There's nothing really wrong with it. I wouldn't leave it. I'd stay right by it because it's shady at best. Yeah. Well, that was sure fun. I hope you got a laugh out of that. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like. Make sure you click subscribe. And take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Decalcification. The decalcification intervals depend on hardness of the water and the frequency of use. If the machine switches off before the water boils, it probably needs to be decalcified. Oh my god, this is so bad. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get through this.